You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
What's up, ladies? How y'all doing? Happy New Year. Welcome y'all to 2024. Lord knows, I'm sure for all of you, like it's been for me, 2023 has definitely had its challenges, but guess what, y'all? We're not going to focus on that. We're in a new year, new start, new energy, new outlook on life. So I don't want any one of us to focus on what happened in 2023, whether if you lost your marriage, lost your job, lost a loved one. This is a new year, which means whatever we lost in 2003 was not meant to carry us or be a part of us in 2024. Just some things are not destined to always be a part of your journey. So just accept the change, accept the losses. And I don't believe in losses. I believe in lessons. Anything you lose comes with a lesson. So nevertheless, y'all, hopefully everybody, has a wonderful new year. So definitely start working on some new changes. Change your circle, change your outlook on life. Just start working on focusing on trying to be a better you. Don't try to change other people. Try to change how you deal with certain individuals. You feel me? So nevertheless, y'all, I want to thank y'all for still being a part of the Mocha's Ladies Lounge. Over here, we always lounging. We're always talking about marriage, different topics. So nevertheless, let's get right into it. I don't want to waste any further time. I've been trying so hard to stay away from this show, but because of you guys, I've been watching so I can share with y'all my perspective, because usually I'll watch other content creators and feedback off of what they say, but I'm like, no, it's only fair that I actually view the show and give my own genuine, authentic perspective and not piggyback off of anybody else's, perspective. So this is my intake. Whenever you see me upload my intake, meaning I'm going to do my own review based off of my own personal opinion, what I perceive or what's my viewpoint on the review of the show Love and Marriage in Huntsville. So first off, before we get into it, everything I say in this video is based off my opinion. Everything I say is based off of entertainment and educational purposes only. So this is my disclaimer. So I'm not going to focus too much on everything else that's going on in the show, because I really want to focus more on the scene with Melody and Martell, because I really want to break down to y'all what I really felt was going on psychologically in Martell's brain and definitely in Melody's mind as well, because I specialize in dealing with I took classes and majors and majored in psychology and criminal justice, being able to read the mind of narcissistic individuals. Plus, y'all know I worked in a correctional facility in which I dealt with men just like Martell. I dealt with inmates. I dealt with offenders who had that narcissistic mindset of thinking that they still have the power, that mental verbal judo, to be able to manipulate a woman into allowing them to have their way. So I'm going to basically break down all the psychology and for what I perceive the mental condition as to which what was taking place between Martell and Melody, basically. So first things first, okay. Know we seen the first part with Stormy and Courtney. She's sitting down with her husband, basically saying, she wanted to get her family together, her mom and her aunt. Don't see eye to eye on things. And, it's typical family drama. Stormy's mother felt like she was always the one there more for their dad than the aunt was and everything. So, it's not giving enough for me to really reiterate too strongly on it. It just seems like some storyline had to be produced to keep Stormy relevant on the show. To me, it just appeared that it's typical family drama. Nothing worth investing an additional wasted 15 or 20 minutes onto an episode. I just didn't see nothing here giving that what's basically going on with Stormy's situation is something that the majority of families go through, and particularly black families. I know personally my family has experienced something currently like that. My mom, the one, it seems like the ones who don't have all of the money, but are the ones that are willing to give all of the time, all of the energy, put in all the footwork as the parents get older and start aging. My mom was willing to, my mother was, cooking for my grandmother, would go to her house, bathe her, wash her, do everything. And for whatever reason, my grandmother had decided to leave all of her assets and all of her estate into one of my other family members' names. And, her being the educated one, the one that seemed to be more business minded compared to my uncles and aunties, her other siblings. My grandmother didn't set it up where everything would be shared equally. She put everything in one person's hands, thinking that sibling would do right by the other siblings and look out for everyone. And she did not do that. And there's been a lot of families who are not speaking to each other, who are no longer close, who no longer affiliate with each other because of the way the older generation left things. You leave one sibling to, basically be the guardian of the estate, and they say one thing when you're alive and you're well, I'm gonna look out for everybody, mom, I'm gonna make sure everybody's good. And as soon as that person closes their eyes, and are buried 6 feet under, unfortunately, that person's whole mindset changes. Greed, steps in, and now they start to feel entitled, like, well, mom did leave me with everything, so therefore I should be the only one who should benefit. So money just triggers people. It makes people move different. So if you got multiple children, I'll advise you, if you're a parent, make sure you write out a will. You do something where everybody's getting their fair share, where your kids are not left here bickering and not speaking to each other and not having anything to do with each other because you left all of your estate in one person's hands, and it gave that person a lot of power, a lot of jurisdiction over everything. So even though Stormy's situation is a little different, the whole bottom line, you could just tell Stormy's mom felt some type of way because she felt like she did everything for the daddy. And of course that was when the sister got pissed off, and basically said, you just wanted me to do what you wanted me to do, how you wanted me to do it. So it's typical sibling rivalry. Nothing refreshing there. So she had her little fish fry, and it was a typical mediocre family drama. Like I said, it's nothing worth putting another 15 or 20 minutes into the show, so I'm not going to spend much time on that. But I guess Stormy is trying to hold on and keep her position on the show by any means necessary. So that was the best she could do, was come up with her little family drama. And of course, Mel goes to meet the Fletchers. They're having a back to school drive in which they're donating and giving supplies and book bags to kids. you know, before they go back to school, which is a wonderful gesture. I love when, you know, the black community gives back. I think that's an awesome thing to do, because the way the economy is, the way things are going, parents definitely could need all the help we can possibly get. So that was a good look. And of course, she, you know, tells Nell that she enjoyed, you know, despite, you know, the chaos that Martell tried to stir up, that she enjoyed, you know, the idea of the Fletcher, Nell and her husband bringing everybody together to do a building team development. And she further went on and told them that Martell reached out to her and she was going to meet him, you know, for lunch or whatever, meet up with him so they can discuss and hash some things out, according to Martell. So, of course, the Fletchers was like, oh, okay, you know. But, you know, that was basically that part with that scene. So, anyway, I really want to get to the main thing, you know, because like I said, everybody in this show is just speaking on mediocre things, anything to try to preserve a lifeline, preserve a position on Love and Marriage in Huntsville. And I'm like, you know, y'all can do better. You know, y'all only want to turn up when Martell and Melody is having a moment, but then y'all low keying on everything going on y'all side of town. But anyway, nevertheless, Melody, of course, goes to meet with Martell, and you know, of course, Melody is dressed to kill, always looking her best. And you know, a lot of people's like, well, you know, Melody had on letting him, you know, letting Martell know what he missed out on. Listen, Melody always dressed her best. Melody always kills it. Okay, so that could have been like 2% of it, but I really think at this point Melody is just over it. She just really does not care. And true indeed, you know, sometimes in many cases when these men mess up and you know they had a good thing and you still have to meet up with them for the sake of the kids, or y'all still have a business or whatever together, you know, you got to let them know, you know, listen, I did not lose my swag even after I left your ass, okay? I'm still doing good. I'm still looking good. All is well. And nothing disturbs a ops spirit more than to still see you doing well. You know, you don't have to retaliate. You don't have to go on a bashing campaign. You don't have to drag them on social media and all of that. Just doing well and moving on. That makes your enemy's skin crawl. The fact that you are just so unbothered and you're still progressing and you're still, you know, growing and you're getting better and better, that nothing kills the spirit of an enemy more than for you to move on and do well. That's all you got to do. That's all you have to do. Just move on and keep moving up. They hate it with the passion. So, of course, you know, during this scene, and I'm going to play parts of the conversation. I'm going to pause in between because quite frequently, because for one, it keeps the copyrights to a minimum. When you constantly interject, when you're doing a commentary on the show, you got to constantly interject because it throws off the copyright from being able to say it's being fully duplicated, if that makes sense. So as I interject, that keeps the copyright down. Plus, I need to be able to break down and analyze everything that's going on between Melody and between Martell. So for those two reasons, it's very imperative that I got to do a lot of interjecting. If y'all want to watch the full episode, hopefully I remember to leave the link. If I don't, y'all just tell me, please drop the link. The full episode of this show is on YouTube because that's where I got it from. So that way you can hear the whole conversation through and through without me interjecting and interrupting, because I get it. Some people want to hear exactly what's going on, and I can't do that here because I don't want a copyright on my channel. But y'all should know that by now. But every once in a while you get people who are not familiar with how it works being a blogger. Okay, so I'm going to be interjecting, y'all. So Melody and Martell, they go and meet at this little tea room, this cafe or whatever. And like I said, of course, Melody is looking scrumptious, looking like a whole snack, okay, like a Debbie cake. The cakes was working, okay. Melody is just so gorgeous. I'm just like, absolutely in awe every time I see Melody, how beautiful and stunning she is, especially a woman that has gone through such a high level of humiliation. Just to see how she just keeps it like together, I just admire her grace. And of course, you have Martell, the Prince of Hell, sitting there in his tight Easter suit as always, looking like his heartbeat is beating through his jacket. The sleeves of his jacket is tight enough to where you could actually check his blood pressure. He always has to wear tight suits. And I'm hoping in 2024, Martell does away with the tight suits. I can't breathe every time I look at him talking. But it's interesting, of course, how Martell always wants to come to Melody with this kumbaya garbage of wanting to seek peace, of wanting to have peace. And we know that Martell is far beyond seeking peace. The only thing he wants peace of is peace of Melody's money. Okay, we know he misses out on the lifestyle he once upon a time had with Melody. But I'm going to be playing snippets of this. And again, I'm going to interject because I want to break down everything on what I think was going on here, y'all. So I'm going to need y'all to bear with me as we listen to this together, because I think there's a lot going on here that needs to be addressed. Okay, so let's get this popping, y'all.
Oh, thanks. Oh, my God.
So, you have something to drink?
Yeah, uh-huh. Yes, I do.
It's like just the menu up here. I don't know if you've been here before.
Oh, tea. Perfect. Hi.
Oh, that's mine?
Yes.
Ooh.
May I have some Earl Grey black tea? Mm-hmm. Thank you. It's $4.90.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You sit here.
Sure, that was one.
These are for you.
From who?
From me. For you. From me.
Martell, sweetie.
No, listen.
We are so divorced, honey.
I know. It's okay,
We're not
though.
newlyweds around here. Nice gesture, but I think it's very inappropriate.
No,
aren't you dating Sheree?
I'm not dating anybody.
Fair use.
Then well, I'm dating.
Now I want to pause right there. Okay, I'm sure Arion Air Mattress has totally overlooked this, but he said, I'm not dating anybody. And I want to pause the brakes right here because a lot of people, I was listening to different bloggers, and a lot of people were saying that he is with somebody. He's with Arion. What does he mean? He's not dating anyone. He's with Arion. And no, I agree. Martell was right. He told the truth for once. He's not dating anyone because Arion Air Mattress is dating him. Martell is not with Arion. Arion is with Martell. Okay. So that's the only thing I agree with. Because the truth of the matter is, if he was so into Arion Air Mattress, he would not be not claiming her. Okay, that was his moment to say right then. Well, me and Arion, we are together. We are seeing each other. We are, trying to build a relationship. This just goes to show how side chicks put themselves in the worst predicaments when it comes to these married men, because they find themselves beholden to the man, but the problem is the man is not beholden to them. And as much as Arion does not mind embarrassing herself and looking like Boo Boo the Fool, it just goes to show everyone and show her that Martell will never give Arion that real sense of security and entitlement of claiming that she's his woman. Because if you notice, Air Mattress always claims Martell. But I have yet to hear Martell claim her. I have yet to hear Martell say, that is my woman, that's my fiance. He will always say the mother of my child, my son's mother. He claims her as far as being Little Helmet's mother. But I have yet to hear him say, this is my woman. I don't care how many times y'all see them booed up together, how many times they go live together. Even the last time they went live, you know, he would talk about how she's a good cook and she's a good mom, but he will never flat out say, Ariane is my woman. Ariane is the woman I want to be with, build a future with. So this is the reason why, y'all, he was so able to just nonchalantly say, I'm not dating anyone. Because in Martell's mind, he has already accepted. He would never ever take it to the next level that Ariane is looking for him to take it to. That's why he didn't even hesitate. He didn't even give it any thought when he said it. He wasn't like, well, you know, well, yeah, I am dating. Well, yeah, I am talking. He just said, no, I'm not dating anyone. Because in his mind, he has already made plans to never take it to that level with Ariane. Because you have to realize in most cases, men who step out on their wives, these married men, you have to realize the way they started off, you know, committing adultery with these women, and the fact that they lost their marriage due to the fact of committing adultery with the women, they will never ever really take it to the next level with that woman, because they feel like that woman who they cheated on their wives for is the cause, is the demise of the marriage. Even though he was the one who was married, even though he was the one who allowed this woman to become a part of his marriage. You know, he was a married man. In his mind, he's basically going to always blame Ariane as the fault of the ending of the marriage, even though he was the one who started dealing with Ariane. So therefore, he's never going to take it to that next level. He's had plenty of time to do it. We're in 2024. I don't know what's taking him so long, but he has all the free will to do it, and he just will not take it there. And that's the reason why he so easily said it right out of his mouth without saying the third thought. I'm not dating anyone. Because yes, in his mind, he's not with Ariane. Ariane is with him. Continue.
So it's kind of inappropriate.
Okay, well, these still for you.
Well, you know what? Give them to the kids.
Oh. All right. Well, I'm happy you're dating. That's good.
Yeah?
Yep, that is good.
Now we all know Martell is not happy with just the thought of knowing that Melody could possibly be dating or seeing anyone. What happened was it caught him off guard. He wasn't expecting that. Okay, when he called himself getting these flowers, and we know that's what Martell does. Martell will get these fugazi, you know, gifts to try to use as a way of willing a woman into him, because see, that's what he's used to doing with Ariane air mattress. He could buy air mattress, a 3-piece from Popeyes with some Cajun rice, and she'll just be basking in the ambience. She'll just be gloating over it. He's used to giving women gifts and things, thinking that that's going to automatically, you know, give him some type of token of redemption. And Melody's not going there. She knows Martell very, very well. She does not want anything he has to offer. Now, if he would have brought those flowers for me, what I would have told him was, you could take those flowers to the cemetery and give them to the dead, because that's how I consider you. I consider you as dead to me. Go take those flowers and, you know, to the cemetery with the dead, because you're dead to me. But she gracefully said, you can go and give them to the kids. Okay, because damn, that's the least you could do. You don't give the kids shit else anyway. You don't do nothing for them. So since they're used to their mommy doing everything, you might as well tell them the flowers are from me, from their mom. Righteously so. But you can tell he felt some type of way, to the point to where he had to sip some of his tea. as soon as she said that, because he wanted to choke and he had to clear his throat and say, oh, well, that's good, that's your date. And then, you know, it's easy for him to be somewhat receptive to it for now, because he has not actually seen Melody with someone. But I'm sure when that day comes in which Melody you know, gets in a real relationship and she decides to be transparent about it and share it with the world, I'm quite sure Martell is not going to take it that easy to heart. He's not really taking it easy to heart now, just knowing, just the idea that Melody is actually seeing someone, because in his mind, he's going to know for sure it's totally over, even though he should have figured that out 3 years ago when she never came back all this time. As long as he does not see Melody with someone, he's going to always think in the back of his mind, because you got to realize you're dealing with a narcissist, that there's still a chance. But that statement put him in a chokehold. Let's continue.
Awesome.
So I come to this meeting, you know, bringing some flowers, trying to be nice, but like always, she's focused on the negative. And certain things is not going to help us move forward. You know, when we were in Houston, we kind of had a little back and forth. You know, I didn't want it to, like, ruin the little small things that we built in order to, like, you know, co-parent.
Now, let me pause right there. I want to pause on the part where he said she's always bringing up the negative. In other words, negative to me means you're always reminding me of all of the things that I have done to ruin us. Martell does not want to be reminded, because the book is thick like a Bible. Every time Melody brings up everything he's ever done wrong, and he does not want to be reminded of that, because he has to see himself for himself every time she brings up the things that he's done.
The way we're doing right now, you know, since the last day in court, I think things have gotten a lot better with us, and I think co-parent has gotten a lot better. I talked to Chris. You know, he had told me that in our relationship you didn't feel protected, and you know, I want to apologize for that, because I didn't know that. I know some of the situations that I put you in, it not only hurt you, but you did feel unprotected.
Now, again, this is all a form of gaslighting. He's steadily convincing himself, as well as trying to convince Melody, that we're better than what we were. Our co-parenting has gotten better. Everything is good. And Chris made me realize that I needed to learn how to be more protective of you. No married man should have to remind another man that you should protect your wife. You was supposed to know that from the moment y'all did y'all vows, and for better or for worse, you knew that was part of the assignment as a husband is with protecting your wife. You failed to do that, sir. You did not protect your wife. You did not protect your marriage. And most importantly, you did not protect your penis. You did not protect anything. So for you to want to have this kumbaya moment in which, again, you're gaslighting and trying to take focus off of all of the damage, the collateral damage that you have caused by bringing up things that you feel is the reason why y'all should be at a peaceful place, when really the only reason it's been at a peaceful place as far as it has, because Melody has kept her cool. Melody has not jumped off at the deep end and try to unalive you, because most women in this type of situation, you better ask Betty Broderick. Betty Broderick got to a place in which she really could not take what her husband was doing to her, the gaslighting, the manipulation, and it drove her to a point in which she ended up unaliving him and her husband. But I'm going to talk about that another time. I talked about Betty Broderick before, but I'm going to save that for another time. But it just goes to show you the things that some of these men do. If you don't have the armor of God in your life, it will make you go completely off the deep end. It will make you spiral out of control. But anyway, he's basically trying to smooth it over, trying to butter it up like a biscuit, and trying to make it seem like to Melody like he has this epiphany now where he realizes where he went wrong. Ninja, please.
And really, I am sorry for that. I just want us to stay in a really good place. When we see each other, I want you to have your guard down, knowing that I would not do anything like to bring harm to you, bring hurt to you anymore, because we see each other often. We talk, we text. What?
This is one of the most gaslighting experiences of my life. First of all, we don't talk. We text about specifically things pertaining to the kids, and even some of those things that aren't necessary. When you text those things, I don't even respond. So that's why when you talk about stuff about being where we are, being in the good place we are, and then no, we're not.
So I want to pop the brakes on that. So she had to make it clear, because he's trying to spare some redemption in front of the cameras, making it seem like we talk, we're in a good place, and Melody had to shut it down and expose him and say and put it out there that we don't even talk, we just text. Don't try to make it seem like you're being a real man, you're being a real father, you're a real communicator. Like, you reach out to me, we talk about the kids, we talk about what's in the best interest of the children. We do not communicate. We don't have no good solid relationship like that. So don't get in front of these folks on the camera making it seem like we're in a good space and we're progressing and doing better, because we are not. Again, this is the mastermind of the narcissist. He still is trying to make himself look like the stand-up dude. He's trying to make it seem like Melody is the one being difficult. And when it comes to the narcissist, they consider you as difficult when you're not willing to go along with the shenanigans, where you're not willing to go along to get along. So whenever you buck or you become resistant to the narcissist, in which you're not feeding into the lies, you're not feeding into the game, they automatically consider you as being difficult, and that's what's going on.
Doing other stuff behind the scenes. So I don't see your flag. Your flag waving is a red declared war. Responsible for all.
Let me go back to that little part, y'all, because she was saying something very valid, and I don't want us to miss that.
Yeah, see, that's where the problem comes in. And
Okay, right.
I've been waving that white flag for so long now. Like,
yeah, see, that's where the problem comes in. You pretend wave a white flag while you doing other stuff behind the scenes.
Losing my hair was hard for me. My face, my skin, my tone being pale was hard.
Okay, let's get to the main
And some of the
issue.
comments were so mean, I already felt like I didn't look right.
Okay, now it's
So that's when
continuing.
you talk about stuff about being where we are, being in the good place we are, and then no, we're not.
Fair
Even
use.
watching you, Miss Nail, watching her come out screaming and hollering and crying. What's wrong?
I will buzz my tail in his face. Now that you cheat on him too, please give me the goddamn answer.
Only time I talked to anybody was when I went with Martell no more, and I never went back.
Oh, we talking about when you was.
See, you have to be very particular with Martell when you're dealing with a narcissist. A narcissist can make you unhinged. A narcissist can make you feel like you're crazy. Just like the last episode, and they brought a piece of it in here, when he called himself flipping out on Nail, how Nail hurt him, how Nail did not, make him feel like she was there for him, or whatever his perspective of Nail. Basically, Nail not kissing his ass made him blow up. Okay, so that when you're dealing with a narcissist, you have to realize, they will make you go crazy if you lack spiritual discernment, and you cannot peep when somebody's doing reverse psychology. And basically, when you do not give in to them, they will try to manipulate you into feeling bad, like you doing them so wrong. And this is what Martell does with everybody. He's done it with Melody. I've seen him do it with Marceau. I've seen him do this with a lot of people. This is a part of his character. This is a part of his personality. And that is the reason why Air Mattress is stuck. Because she does not have the spirit of discernment. She does not have a relationship with God. So therefore, Martell is going to always keep Ariana in a frenzy. he cannot keep Melody and other people in a frenzy who have caught on to his narcissistic ways, because once people have caught on that you try to play the victim when you cannot have your way, what it does is it totally just numbs people out from even wanting to talk to you, from even wanting to be around you.
Coming for me, hurting me, and
Oh, I can't do the victim.
Melody, she needs to leave the house. Say, I'm going to the hotel.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So everybody does what they need to do for their me time, for their calming down time. And now you, because you got caught cheating on these years, I was cheating. Man, get that out of here. So the fact that you are still being an agent of chaos honestly reconfirms that you still ain't grew up.
It's my hope that that we can stand up in a place of peace.
We're not in a place of peace.
Well, it takes.
And never will be in a place of peace, because Melody is right. Martell is a typical narcissist. He wants you to let your guard down so you can get comfortable, and then he will come in for the juggler. And this is one of the most dangerous individuals to be around. And if you lack spiritual discernment, or if you have any type of love for these type of individuals in which you fail to protect yourself mentally and spiritually, and you don't have your armor of God on you, they will chip at little layers of your self-esteem and make you let your guard down. And he's done it so many times to Melody, to where Melody has built her armor of God even stronger, to where she's not buying nothing he says anymore, because you have to realize she's been through 7-8+ years of constantly letting her guard down, and it's gotten to the point now she would never ever trust him, because Martell is one of those type of men. He will build you up just to tear you down. So I could only imagine, if you think about it, not that we should care, because I damn sure don't care. That's what Ariane Air Mattress is going through. Ariane probably knows in her heart she does not need to be with Martell, but because her self-esteem is so low, and let me tell you something, the narcissist, a woman with low self-esteem is a narcissistic man's dreams come true. They love weak women. They love weak women, but then they hate them at the same time. You know, that's the price you pay when you're dealing with a narcissistic man, especially one whom you took, not actually took because Melody walked away, but one who you ended up with at the default of his failed marriage, a marriage which he caused to fail. So that is why Ariane it has become a slave to Martell's narcissistic ways, because for one, she's young, not meaning so young where she don't know no better, but she's still childish, immature, and two, her self-esteem is shot. So therefore, he will always have the upper hand when it comes to Ariane, even after she's witnessed this finale, with him not claiming her, with him not owning up to them being together. She's still going to hang in there no matter what. So therefore, Ariane and Martell are going to constantly drag each other for a lifetime. That's going to be a continuous, ongoing, volatile, toxic relationship, because Martell wants a woman who he can drag, and then Air Mattress does not mind being dragged if that's what it takes in order for her to be with him.
For us to get to that space, that's my whole thing.
It's not gonna happen.
I don't blame
I
her.
don't do anything toward you.
Okay.
I've been waving that white flag for so long now. Like,
Yeah, see, that's where the problem comes in. You pretend wave a white flag while you doing other stuff behind the scenes. So I don't see your flag. Your flag waving is a red declare war flag.
And the crazy part is, while she's saying this, she's basically telling them, every time you waving a white flag, it's something behind that white flag. You don't have no good intentions. You're not waving no truce flag. Your truce flag is a terroristic flag, meaning you're about to plant a bomb somewhere. You're about to plan. You're throwing grenades. You're going to do something really evil sooner than later. And as she's saying this, you know, he's looking surprised like, what do you mean? What are you saying? He really is looking oblivious like he does not understand what Melody is saying. Like, what do you mean? When, like, he really believes in his mind that he's really tried to be a peaceful person in this whole ordeal. And he cannot fathom what Melody is saying. This is the true nature of a narcissist.
Martell playing mind games, that's just what he does. Like him showing up here today with these flowers, this smile on his face, like Prince Charming, when we all know that he's responsible for all of the stuff happening on social media pertaining to me. That could change people's opinions about me by him giving these false narratives. He's responsible for that.
And we got all this stuff that we're gonna.
And she's absolutely right. What he's doing is he's trying, in front of the cameras, in front of the viewers and all, he's trying to paint this pretty picture like, I'm a good dude, I'm a stand-up dude. Y'all making it seem like I have not tried to be a man. I've not tried to bring peace. Look, I done brought her flowers. I'm up here, you know, letting everybody know how great we communicate, trying to make Melody look like the villain, trying to make Melody like the bad guy. But as we will see, as this conversation continues, a zebra never changes its stripes. They could only fake the funk but for so long, especially when you're not feeding into the garbage.
And you should have thought about all of those things whenever you allowed others as well to attack the person you have 4 children with.
This is the nature of a narcissist. I made a mistake. Smashing another chick almost 7-8 years throughout your marriage and creating a child. Oh, that was just a mistake, y'all.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're the battery in the back. No, you're not.
No.
So, yes, you are.
I don't
Yes, you
control
are.
nobody.
But a lot of the things that are said are things that come from your mouth.
No.
Yes, they are. Talking about when you was calling me hoes and bitches, that was an attack on mine.
Oh.
I know you should be shaking your dang on head at yourself. You always doing. You was doing 3 days ago in Houston. What is you blowing up and saying all these inaccuracies for to these people? You always doing that. You always doing. No, it ain't accurate. No, it's not actually accurate. You said to me that when we were married, I was going to hotels cheating on you. That's a goddamn lie.
I didn't say you wanted this.
Yes, you did.
I didn't say that.
Now, he said last episode, look at how much of a liar. This is the type of man, he will unalive somebody and look the judge straight in the face and say, I didn't do it. He just said the last episode that because Melody would take breaks and go rent a room, that she was smashing somebody. Only to turn around and Melody says, you're accusing me of sleeping with other men in a hotel. Now he's saying, I didn't say that. Jesus, let's continue.
Yes, you did.
There's
And
a
you've said it
possibility.
multiple times.
There's a possibility because I don't. It's like me.
Well, we know
what,
you were cheating.
Now he's saying, now he went from I didn't say that to there's a possibility. This is the nature of a narcissist.
Okay. I'm sorry for that.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Not
If I
sorry
knew
for
it was
cheating.
going to destroy
You're not
what
sorry.
we had, all this, it wouldn't have been like it is.
What you mean?
If I knew that what I did was going to
How could
destroy.
you not know that all that you did
If I
would
knew
destroy?
that it was going to destroy my whole family and put us at odds like this, no, I would not have.
What did you think was going to be?
Now this is where I had to definitely pump the brakes. If he would have known it was going to destroy his family like this. First of all, Martell did not care about losing his marriage. Let's just get that established. He did not care about losing his marriage. He cared about losing the benefits of being married. Okay? He did not know he was going to lose his home. He was going to lose his children. He was going to lose all the beautiful trips to Paris and you know, France, all of the lifestyle of luxury, because, you know, Melody believed in having the best. Okay? He did not know all of what he was going to lose. Now, what he thought was, no matter how many women I deal with or how much I step outside my marriage, I know Melody is not going anywhere. I know regardless of what I do, I'm still going to have my marriage. And what happened was he underestimated Melody. He underestimated her. And he never thought in a million years it was going to get to this place in which he was going to end up stuck with the very thing he really did not want, which was air mattress. He has no regrets about losing a marriage. The only thing he regrets is the benefits of what he's losing behind the loss of the marriage. That's the problem. He's back to being a poverty pookie, you know, basically staying, you know, with his side chick, and that was not part of the plan. His luck went all the way down, and he was not financially, mentally, or spiritually prepared for any of that. That's what he's upset about. I'm sure had he known Melody was going to shut down the whole operation, he probably would have pulled out a little sooner. But even then, we're talking about the nature of a narcissistic ninja. I don't think he was ever going to stop. He was going to continue to do this until Melody pulled the cord.
Walking around being Mary Poppins?
It doesn't matter. I mean, it's playing a toll on me, and it's still playing a toll on you, the children. Like, certain decisions we make for the school, certain decisions they make with everything.
He's not saying that the loss of everything is based off of what he did. He's saying everything, how the kids are being affected, how everything's being affected is based off of the fact that they don't have their marriage anymore. He's still not taking accountability. He's not taking ownership. He's not saying, well, because I stepped outside the marriage and had a baby on you, this has changed how our kids go to school. This has changed how, you know, the dynamics of how we interact with each other. He's still not taking the blame. He's saying the loss of the marriage because Melody decided to end it is the reason that so much has changed. That's what he's really saying.
I don't stand from that, what I did, that I
Repeatedly.
so just regret from the depths of my heart. I regret. I'm like, if I knew, now it's like it wouldn't be this way. You know what I'm saying?
You should have listened.
We can't be in a bad space and try to co-parent. I think we all got to get in a much better space and stay there.
You continue to do stuff. Like, let's keep it 100.
I don't want, listen, when you leave here, I do not want you to be even more mad at me.
I mean, you know, to be real with you, you don't affect me like that
So
no more.
why you can't forgive me then? Why you can't get that off your heart? It
Fair
shouldn't be
use.
there.
You don't get to tell me when I move past anything.
I
And
got
the fact of the matter
I got
is, you always doing something.
So pump the brakes here. Again, because this is that narcissistic ninja nature. That's what I'm gonna call him, the narcissistic ninja. This is that narcissistic ninja behavior. Okay, well, you should be over it. If you claim you're past me and you moved on, then that means you're supposed to let your guard down so I could come in out the blue and sucker punch you again. That's what he's really saying. Still trying to find a way to control Mel, and Melody had to get him right together and say, no, you're not going to dictate how I feel, how I move, and how I operate with you. And this is the whole bottom line, ladies. You got to protect your peace by any means necessary. Nobody gets to pick and choose how you protect your peace. Only you are the owner of your peace. Let's continue.
So Mel, she's so focused on the past, she can't see all the great stuff that I'm doing in the present. And I feel that being the father of her 4 children, she should want to be on a better page. She should want like what's best for all of us, instead of just being so nitpicky and focus on all these small little things that happened so long ago.
Why are you wearing that ring that I got you in 2008?
Yes, why is that?
That's the same reason you got that ring that I bought you in 2010.
You did not buy this for me.
I did.
No, you didn't.
And you got it on your
You did
wedding
not.
finger as well, so.
You did not buy me this. Why?
I guess you got the memo.
I just got this a year ago. Why you got the ring on?
See how he tried to deflect by bringing up a ring that she clearly, listen, if she divorced Martell, I know she wasn't going to be walking around here rocking the ring she had when she was married to Martell. She just brought that ring, and you can tell the ring she has on her is not a wedding ring. He's going to try to insinuate that he bought her that ring when we indeed know, Martell, you done hit rock bottom. The only ring you could give any woman is a ring around her goddamn bathtub when you done sweated behind that tight ass Easter suit you've been wearing. So we know you ain't been buying nothing. Again, you're trying to spin a narrative because the cameras are there. And you know you got the audience watching you. You're trying to make it look like Melody is still trying to hold on to your marriage somewhere too. And we know it's all BS.
I'm manifesting.
Manifesting,
I
child.
want to be married again.
But
You know?
you should be manifesting with something of the new, not of the old. You know, that since it was so bad anyway, you know,
No, it
let
was.
you tell it.
Well, it wasn't so bad for me.
Obviously, that's what you say. That's how you act.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, our marriage wasn't all bad. I mean, we had great time.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad because you was able to come home to a home cooked meal, your beautiful children, your beautiful 6-7 bedroom home, and your beautiful hard-working wife while you go smash a damn bed bug across town who lives in Section 8 housing, who you created a little screaming demon with. Yes, it was great for you because you had the best of both worlds. Meanwhile, your wife was miserable, having to deal with you disrespecting your marriage, and not only that, being publicly humiliated because everybody knew that you was smashing Ariane air mattress. I guess it was great because you was having your cake and eating it too. Continue.
Did everything together. I think that we really tried to make each other happy in the marriage, you know. So
Really?
I think it was very successful.
Oh, wow.
Our marriage was very successful.
Woo. Well, anyway, I'm going to get on up out of here. I got a flight I got to get on.
Chill out. Chill out.
What else is there
Because
to
you're
talk
being so
about?
difficult.
I'm not
That's
being
why.
difficult, I'm being honest.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't
You're
like my
difficult.
honesty. I'm being honest. Just because it's not what you want to hear, it's my truth.
It's okay, but you still have to be difficult.
How am I being difficult?
It's okay.
How am I being difficult?
I'm gonna let you go.
Shit.
Yeah.
Give the kids the flowers. Tell them they came from their mom.
Now, how about you just send them some?
Well, you know, I do send them things like food to your house at times, but I'm talking like give that
Girl,
to
be
them.
quiet. You see what I'm saying? Y'all always starting stuff.
Thank you for the tea.
Why you want to shoot stuff down and make me look horrible right now?
Why do you think everything is always about making you look a certain
Well, okay,
way?
to make you look
It's
good.
about,
then.
no, it's about
Okay.
being honest. It ain't about making you look a certain way.
Lord Jesus.
And that was that. That's the best way to deal with the nature of a narcissistic ninja, is you just got to shut it down. The longer you sit there and talk and prolong and hold the conversation, it just gives them more room to lie, manipulate, twist the narratives. Like I said, being a correctional officer, I dealt with that a lot. I dealt with, inmates trying to gaslight, because I was over a majority of men. The majority of the offenders I dealt with were men. And it would amaze me how some of them would really try to have their way. They're trying to make it seem like the jail is doing them so wrong, and it ain't right that you treat us inhumane here. It ain't right that my phone call was supposed to be for 20 minutes and I only got 15 minutes. You short me of 5 minutes. That ain't right. They're constantly bickering and bitching about the way the prison regulates them. But never once did they say, you know what? I should have not robbed that bank to get involved in a situation which would cause me to lose my freedom. I should have never taken that person's life, and I wouldn't have to be under the control of the system. I should have never put my hands on that woman. That way I could have been home with my wife, with my kids. It's never what I should have done to not cause this. It's everything and everyone else's fault. And that's what's going on with Martell. Martell saw he could no longer control the situation, and that's when he said, you know what, I'm going to let you go. Because the nature of the narcissistic ninja is they don't want to keep pushing at something that they know they can't push. They don't want to, they get frustrated when they start losing control when they no longer have control. That's just the straight up nature of the narcissistic ninja. I can't have control. I can't manipulate. She's not buying into my lies. She's not buying into me twisting the narrative. It's not working. So I just want to end it. And guess what? That was the best thing he could have did. If I had to give him any piece of props, was the fact that he shut it down once he knew he couldn't get anywhere. And even then he tried to up it again when she made the statement that, you know, give the flowers to the kids since I'm sending food over there and all of that. That really made him angry because, again, that's reminded him of where he's failing. The nature of the narcissistic ninja, they don't want to be reminded of how they failed in life. They don't want to be reminded of what they lost in life. They just want to focus on the good times. Remember, he kept going back and reflecting, talking about everything great, how good everything was, how they was a team, and the point of the matter is, you know, he really could have had a very good life. What Martell does not understand is him and Mel had a lot of haters. It was a lot of even friends in their own circle who wanted them to fail because they was the powerhouse couple. But Martell decided to take an 80-20 deal. Meaning that when it comes to a marriage and a relationship, most of the time you're going to get 80% of what you want. That's why you chose that person. But then again, there's going to be that 20% that you're going to be deprived of because nobody's perfect. And what he did was he tossed and threw away 80% for 20%, which was Ariane air mattress, the bed bug. He lost an empire over a hut. Okay? You know, he lost a Bentley over a 1986 Honda Accord. You know, he lost a prize for a peasant. So therefore, he still has not come to realization that he caused this. But you know what the matter is? He never has to verbalize it. He knows in his heart. I don't care what he says on the outside. I don't care about the sarcastic shade. I don't care about all that screaming and yelling. All the screaming and yelling like he was screaming at Nell. He'd be screaming at Mel. What it is he's angry with himself. And I remember I heard a pastor say this, that a man takes how he feels about himself, he takes it out on the woman. For instance, if a man is constantly beating up on his wife, it's because he's really beating up on himself. He feels less of himself. A man who has to scream and yell and do all of that extra stuff that Martell was doing, it's because he does not value himself. He does not value himself. And the anger for Melody is really the anger he has within himself. He knows he wrote a check that he cannot cash. He knows that he will never, ever in life get back what he had with Melody. And for him, that is a hard pill to swallow. Going on to the next scene, which I'm not going to talk too much, is when Kimmy calls herself trying to be sexy, having on a lingerie. Maurice walks up in there like he just did a photo shoot with GQ magazine. And I don't even want to talk about these two because their relationship is just as stale as a box of vanilla wafers that have been sitting out for like 3 days. I feel like they're reaching. They're trying to keep a storyline, and because everybody has dragged Maurice for how he has not had any empathy or sympathy for Kimmy. Kimmy's trying to make it look like her husband does value her, does appreciate her, still sees her as beautiful, still sees her as sexy. Girl, listen. We're not, complying with the fake shenanigans, with that struggle of, because that's just what it is. Maurice is dry, and you probably still have to keep sucking him off every chance you get to make him feel like a man. And meanwhile, you probably haven't climaxed since, you know, your first child's father. You know what I mean? I still feel like he's cheating her in the bedroom. He's still not pleasing her. I still feel like that's the reason why she's doing all this above and beyond, because she wants Maurice to feel worthy, because so many people done bashed him and trashed him based on how they felt about how he treated her. So she's trying to compensate for that. I'm not going to even go into all of that, because all of the other couples on this show, they dry, they stale, they just need a storyline, something to stay relevant, to keep themselves a position on the show, to make sure they keep their spot. That's how I feel. So I don't really care to address too much of anything else. So I just gave y'all the main highlights. But my main area of concern was the Martell, how he tried to gaslight Melody and Melody wasn't going for it. And, you know, I will say this much. If Martell had any sense of dignity, any sense of, you know, trying to at least convince Melody, the first thing he should have did was, for one, he should have confessed, came clean by also to this too. Once he did that, what he should have did was allowed Melody to be there when he explained to those children how little screaming demon got here. He was so strong in his wrong, he wouldn't even give the Melody of being able to be there so she could help her kids mentally process the issue of them being informed about them having a half brother out there. Martell was so evil, he wouldn't even grant Melody that. He was just that controlling and vindictive. He did not even respect her wishes, making sure that Melody was there, so she can be aware and know how her kids would mentally and emotionally handle their father telling them something devastating. But he did not want Melody there because he wanted to tell those kids his own version. He wanted to be able to lie and manipulate. That's the first thing he should have did, was if he had any type of decency, if he at least wanted Mel to have a change of heart. Not to say that she would have, but this would at least could have been a start. That would have been the first thing. He should have confessed to Mel. Secondly, made sure that when he confesses to the kids that Melody was there. The third thing is in the mission of him confessing to the children while Melody was present. He should have thoroughly let those children know that he disrespected their mother. That would at least gave her some type of, that would have gave Melody some type of just a little bit of relief, just a small amount of peace, knowing that he realized he was just that wrong, that he's not only willing to confess that to her, but he was willing to confess that to his children as well. He should have kept it real with Melody and those children, not giving them the I don't want to look bad version. He should have sat down, broke it down and said, I failed y'all mother. I was wrong. I was married to mommy, and as a married man, you're not supposed to cheat or mess around and have children from other people outside of your marriage. But kids are smart. What y'all feel like, oh, that's too deep, that's too strong. Kids don't need to know that. Listen, he created a whole screaming demon. So it's not no perfect way in which them knowing and not knowing. If he was a real man, or if he wanted to show he had any type of compassion, just a little bit, that's the least he could have did. Because there's men, unfortunately, who have stepped outside their marriage and had children, but knowing the damage that they done, they didn't try to tell the good guy version. They kept it real, kept it a buck, and he could have used his bad decision as a blessing to teach his children. It's not worth messing up your family. Look what I did. Mommy don't trust me anymore. Now daddy cannot stay in the same household with y'all because daddy did wrong. That was the first thing he could have did. Second thing he could have did was left Ariane alone. Any man who stands a chance on getting his wife back, if he really is serious and he's tired of the BS, that's if he has a chance. This is not saying that a woman should change her mind and stick with her husband no matter what, but I'm saying if there is a chance, if there's any possibility of 1% chance of reconciliation, he definitely did not stand a chance because of how he went about it. But I'm just hypothetically saying possibly if there was a chance what he should have done. Okay? He should have left Ariane alone. Nothing hurts a woman more knowing that not only did her husband step outside the marriage, and second, created a screaming demon. The third thing is you're still affiliating with the enemy. You're still affiliating with the person who you know is part of, who participated and part of the demise of the marriage. Nothing is more of a bigger betrayal than to see your husband is still entertaining the devil. Because people, listen, people have stayed in marriages in which cheating happened. In worst cases, children were conceived and they were able to work it out. Now, I'm not saying every woman's built for that. I totally get it. You have some women that's a zero tolerance. Once you cheat, that's one thing. But you create a child, that's zero tolerance. But there are women who have survived it. And it's only because the man did whatever he did, everything he knew he needed to do to earn that woman's trust. He still was smashing Ariane. Still clapping her cheeks on her Section 8 rental center furniture from or IKEA, wherever the hell she got it from. He was still smashing her, showing that he did not feel bad about, it's bad enough you lost your marriage behind it, but then on top of that, you're still willing to still go to bed with this woman. He should have left Ariane alone, period. Only communicated with her for the sake of a screaming demon little helmet. Fourth, he should have been voluntarily paying child support. This would have proved to Mel that I know throughout all of the years of the marriage, I always left everything on you financially and physically. I'm willing to take that stand out and step up and be a man. What he should have did was started a business or got himself a job, did something that he knew Melody never saw it in him to do, which was work and be a provider. If he felt there was a slam chance, other than him bringing flowers, other than him lying with these fake apologies, and sometimes in order to get what you really want, you got to go and do shit you never did. Sometimes, depending on the level of damage you have caused, you got to go above and beyond. He should have got a job and voluntarily financially provided without Mel asking, without Mel having to go to the judge and get it court ordered. If he at least would have done that, that would have made Mel feel like, okay, maybe he's really trying to really prove how empathetic he is. Again, I'm not saying that this would have changed Melody's mind. Again, I'm not saying that just because a man does this after he has disrespected his vows and his marriage, that if he does these things, a woman should reconsider. But what I'm saying, if a man knows in his heart he really sincerely messed up and he really wants his marriage to work, this would have been the right start. Not that it would have worked, but this would have been the start. Him sending checks, him sending money, paying towards their school, saving up money towards their college. That would have made Mel see, okay, he's transitioning into a grown man for once. I'm not going to beg him, run behind him. He's not out here hustling, scheming, trying to link up with other contractors so he could avoid not having to get his contractor's license, him actually going to school, getting his contractor's license, doing everything that Melody tried to get him to do in the marriage, that would have probably gave her some type of incentive. That was the least he could have done. Fourth, after he done made his money, stopped dealing with Ariane, financially contributing towards Melody, what he should have been doing was focusing on going to counseling, getting therapy, not because it was court ordered. He should have been voluntarily going on his own. There's a difference when somebody has to be forced to go to counseling because it's ordered by the judge. It's part of the court order. You're only going to counseling and agreeing to co-parenting classes because of court order. He should have been going on his own. In addition to, like I said, confessing to him and his children, using his bad decision as a lesson to teach his children that it's not worth breaking trust in a marriage. Like I said, leaving Ariane alone, only co-parenting her, not, going live with her, still disrespecting your wife by hanging out with her, also allowing Ariane to disrespect Melody, not putting her in her place. See, all of that comes from the fact that he was still smashing Ariane. If he had stopped smashing Ariane, Ariane would not have had a weapon to be able to use against Melody, disrespecting Melody. She's only doing that because Martell was still smashing her and still involved with her, which made her feel even more confident in being able to disrespect Melody. All of that comes from Martell. Like I said, financially contributing, paying child support without Melody having to beg and ask. Not that she needs the money, but a lot of things he could have done if there was any hope, because Melody gave him 1,000 chances. But the way he has handled everything at this point, it would never be. And even if he decided to do all those things tomorrow that I suggested, it still would not be enough to convince Melody or anybody for that matter, because Martell has proven his white flags come with red flags. None of his good deeds are genuine. Anything he does good is a setup. It's a setup. You cannot trust that it's for good. Something funky or effed up is coming behind it. Because Martell is the nature of the narcissistic ninja. They cannot genuinely just do something nice. There's an agenda. There's a motive behind it. And most of the time, it's a malicious motive. So anyway, y'all, I'm going to get ready to shut it down. Like I said, I had to do a lot of interjecting to keep that copyright down to a minimum. Make sure y'all hit that like button. We get ready to go in 2024. I hope to get at least 2,000 subscribers. If you have not subscribed, ladies, please make sure y'all do that. Now, I still owe y'all a sermon, okay? And I'm going to have that sermon uploaded, but, I had to do the finale first. Once this last episode, I had to speak on that. So, I had to put the sermon to the side so I can update y'all on that. So my next sermon that's going to be coming up is, I'm trying to scroll for it. Okay, the delusional mindset of the side chick. We're going to be talking about that. This is revamped. I've done it before, but I wanted to do a part 2 because there's just so much more we need to learn. There's more information that needs to be shared with y'all on the mindset of these side chicks, these appetizer, these side orders, these whole slaw, whatever you want to call it. I definitely going to get that ready for y'all as well. But anyway, y'all, enjoy the new year. We're in a new year, new start, new beginning. Hit that like button. Please make sure you join Mocha's Ladies Lounge. Join the family if you haven't already. Big ups to all of my members. Remember, members, I told y'all, even though I don't upload a members exclusive like as frequently as I used to, because I'm not at that level quite yet, but take advantage of the other things I have. Y'all remember, you can still order tumblers. Your tumblers will be $15 compared to everybody else who pays the $25. Also, if you decide to get cable from me, your cable will only be $15 a month versus $25 a month. So members, take advantage. You know, there's still other things you can get little for nothing being a part of my congregation, tithing at $2.99 a month. So take full advantage, you know, of it. So anyway, y'all be blessed. Enjoy the new year. And this is your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Ladies Lounge. Y'all be blessed. Big ups to all the other content creators out there, my sisters on blogging that's doing a darn thing as well. Shout them out. Shout out to all of y'all. Much love. Continue to do what you do. Until next time, be blessed, y'all.